Hi there, my name is Sophia. I'm an avid reader and a Netflix junkie. I spend my time watching movie adaptations and share my thoughts on here for you to know what you're getting into. Note that I'm not a professional actress, director, or filmmaker, and this is coming from a consumer's perspective. In today's video, we're going to be tackling some major concerns. 1. Why is there an apprehension attached to book to film adaptations? 2. Why does the bookish community get angry when the film is poorly done? 3. What are the problems of turning a mystery novel into a movie? And lastly, how do we know a good adaptation? Now stick with me and don't go anywhere.
Sophie, the book owl.
On clicking this video, some of you already know the plot of this movie, whether from the book or the movie itself. But I'm not going to assume every one of you has read the book or has seen the movie. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what this movie is about. Okay. Amy Dune and Nick Dune present the perfect image of their blissful marriage to the public. So when Amy Dune goes missing on their 5th anniversary, Nick Dune becomes the prime suspect, and the eventual pressure from the police and the media crumbles everything that everyone knows to be true. Now, I'm going to answer the first question that I posed earlier on. Why is there always an apprehension attached to book to film adaptations? Firstly, we as readers, when we're reading a book, we already have a vivid, clear image of the characters and events. So when we hear that an adaptation is coming out, we expect that, oh my God, this is exactly how I pictured it moment. And when we don't get that, it means there's something wrong, because we believe an adaptation is supposed to be an update to the already existing imagination. There is always an apprehension attached to book to film adaptations, a wary uneasiness that only increases when the source material is a well-written book. It doesn't matter that the directing duties are placed in the very capable hands of David Fincher, or that the screenplay was written by Flynn herself. Adaptations still go wrong when everything seems to be in place. Now, treat this as a road trip. We're going to make several stops. First stop, casting. Ben Affleck is perfectly cast as Nick Dune, described in the novel as the rich boy villain in an 80s movie. He conveys all the emotion, or the lack thereof, that drives his character in the novel. Rosamund Pike brings a necessary nuance to Amy Dune with a meticulous performance that makes Amy's violence, sociopathy, and unforgivable acts more complex on screen than in the novel. Flynn and David Fincher managed to update Amy's character without really changing her, while Pike pretends to be Amy, who is also pretending to be Amy, building layers upon layers. Next up, character removal. One of the things I'm grateful for is how they smartly removed the unnecessary characters. For example, Amy's possible stalker slash high school roommate. Remember that guy? Yes. And they calmly toned down Nick's father, one of the novel's weakest character, who only briefly appears in the film. Why this is important is because you don't want to get negative reviews for characters who are not actually the body of the film. Now, next up is important scenes that show that the filmmakers actually read the novel. There are small but important scenes or moments that survive the jump from page to screen. One is the detectives, who constantly referenced Nick's baby of the family habit. Then there's a sadly humorous bit when Nick sheepishly hands over the phone to Detective Bonnie when the mother-in-law called, hanging his head like a child in trouble. Then there's one of the greatest scenes in the novel, Nick's grin at the press conference. Ben Affleck nails it. If you didn't think he killed his wife before this moment, you would immediately change your stance after this scene. Next up, updated relationships. Margot and Nick's relationship is even better on screen. Amy and Desi, even more vivid and disgusting. A match made in heaven. Ugh, okay, not the perfect phrase for that, but you understand what I mean. Flynn kept these relationships the same at the core, but adds little twists and details that keeps us interested. I was expecting a long, spiraling version of the infamous cool girl monologue, which sometimes receives more attention than the actual novel. But Flynn smartly shortens and relegates this to a brief but well done scene. One that adds to Amy's character but doesn't over explain or overpower Amy's crimes. I'm going to invite you to hit the like button if you're enjoying this video so far. It encourages me and my channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Now, the next stop is the problems of turning a mystery novel to a movie. An impressive feat is how Gone Girl remains suspenseful till the end. Mystery novels or adaptations are especially tricky because the ending is already out there in the world. Every single person that has read this book already knows the ending. So how are you going to make it different? How are you going to make it, interesting? Gone Girl, the movie, wasn't so much a whodunit. It was more a story about the mysteries of marriage, performance art, and how much is enough. The big twist in the novel isn't treated as the movie's gasp-inducing pivotal scene, because the diary entry voiceovers hint at this from the very beginning. The twist was just a basic plot detour because it continued to ramp up the character's suspense and the ever suspicion that everyone is lying to you. At this point, everything you've believed so far was wrong, so it becomes hard to trust anything till the movie is over. Last stop, what is a good adaptation? Now, because both the novel and the film versions of Gone Girl are masterful in their own right, experiencing one does not cheapen the other. They tell the same story in two unique ways, hitting the same nail with two different hammers, but ultimately leaving you both satisfied and unsettled by the end. That right there is the most stunning aspect of Gone Girl, that even though you knew what was coming, it still hits you just as hard. That is how you know a good adaptation. Thank you for watching. See you next time.